Joining us right now is Senator Ted Cruz, the talk of all America right now, not only running for president, but with the yesterday announcement that Carly Fiorina will be his vice presidential running mate. Senator, it's good to have you with us. I need you to do me a favor, though. I need to take you back 2 days ago.
Sure. To
this very program, sir, when we had you on the show, and we talked about your deal with John Kasich, and I asked this very question. On Kasich, are we seeing a presidential, vice presidential ticket forming?
Oh, I think that is very, very premature.
I wasn't that premature, sir. I was pretty on target. How did this come about?
Well, you had the right idea, but you ended up with someone different than who we chose. There was an extended process. We started out with a long list of over 40 people who we assessed were plausible candidates for vice president. We then narrowed that down to a list of 17, and we began doing vetting on those 17, predominantly relying on public records at that time. And then from there, we narrowed it to 5, and ultimately spent a lot of time and consideration and prayer, and it became clear to Heidi and me and to the entire team that Carly brought the right package of knowledge and experience and judgment and character. And at the end of the day, it was a very easy choice because I think she is an extraordinary leader. And I think the contrast between me and Carly on the one hand, and Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton on the other hand, and Donald and Hillary are flip sides of the same coin, I think that contrast couldn't be clearer, and I think it's a contrast that the voters deserve to have before they vote.
We'll get into Donald Trump in just a second. I want to go back to Carly Fiorina. You talk about 40 people going to 17 people. Can you give us an idea of who was on the short list?
I'm not going to float any other names out. That's not a kind thing to do. But, look, it's a lot of the people you would naturally think of other candidates who were in the field, other elected leaders and prominent leaders, people who have earned respect and who have been in the trenches battling for conservative principles. And that, we initially cast a fairly wide net and then had a systematic process of narrowing it down. This is one of the most solemn and serious decisions any presidential candidate has to make, because in nominating a vice president, you're telling the American people that this person is prepared to lead this country, prepared to be commander-in-chief. The most important job of the vice president is if the president gets hit by a truck, to be prepared to step in immediately and follow through on the promises and commitments that have been made, defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and keep us safe and secure. And that's what we were looking for, and I think Carly fits the bill perfectly.
And I agree with you, Senators, talking with Senator Ted Cruz, about the importance of a vice presidential pick. What people are looking at, and certainly what I looked at, was the timing. You have to go back to Reagan 76. You have to go back to his picking a Schweiker out of Pennsylvania.
Sure.
So when you take a look at what your race involves, which involves a contested convention without question, why was this something that was important for you to do, and how do you think this gets received by the electorate?
Yeah. Well, look, no doubt Reagan in 76 is a clear parallel, and there's a reason for that. That was the last time we had a contested convention. Ordinarily, a presidential candidate will name his vice presidential pick at the convention, and that's the way things have gone in the past. This is not an ordinary year, and it was one of the things I addressed yesterday in announcing Carly, why now? And one of the reasons why now is to help unite the party. Our party is fractured and divided, and if we are divided, we cannot win. And I think Carly is a powerful leader to help unite the party. I think she has enormous credibility to bring us together. And we've got to unite, number one, to win the nomination, but number two, even more importantly, to win the general election and beat Hillary.
So when people say, as gets talked about, you'll hear Trump supporters say, this is an act of desperation, Senator. What do you say to that?
Oh, look, that's Donald's talking point. It's what he always says. I mean, Donald's response to everything is to yell and scream and curse and insult. So Whatever happens, it's going to be one of those four things. He's going to yell, he's going to scream, he's going to curse, or he's going to insult. And where he goes most frequently is an insult. So sure, he'll say desperation, he'll say whatever particular attack he wants. And listen, Donald has had a good couple of nights. In the Northeast, he won near his home. But I am very glad that the Hoosier State is now in a position where the entire country is depending on Indiana. Not just looking to Indiana, depending on Indiana. Because Indiana has the ability to step in and save this party and save this country from nominating a candidate who on policy is virtually indistinguishable from Hillary Clinton. If we end up going into November with two New York liberals, big government liberals and Washington insiders like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton on the ballot, then the Republican Party will have failed profoundly. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton support raising taxes. I think that's a terrible idea. It would kill jobs. It would hammer small businesses. As president, I'm going to cut taxes, pass a flat tax, and abolish the IRS. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton support the Obamacare individual mandate. I think Obamacare is the biggest job killer in America, and as president, I'm going to repeal every word of Obamacare. Both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton support allowing illegal immigrants to become U.S. citizens. Donald would fly them back to their country first, but then he would make them U.S. citizens. I disagree. As president, I'm going to secure the border and stop amnesty.
Senator, I know you're up against it. We are as well. We're going to hopefully talk again before this primary begins. But I got to ask you, is the plan of the Cruz campaign to go to the convention no matter what, even if you lose in Indiana?
Well, we are fighting to the end. We are fighting to win, and we are going to do everything possible to win here in Indiana. We're barnstorming right now. I'm in the bus. We're driving from Indianapolis up to Fort Wayne. We've got an event today. We're going to be barnstorming the entire state. Let me encourage your listeners, if you want to come out to an event, come to a town hall, come to a rally. You can find out about them at tedcruz.org, tedcruz.org. Actually, there's even a new website. I'm used to saying tedcruz.org, but there's now a new website that is cruzcarly.com. So try the new website, cruzcarly.com, cruzcarly.com. But come out and ask me a question, shake my hand. You know, I think anyone who's running for president owes it to the men and women of Indiana to look them in the eyes, to answer their questions, to show the humility, to subject yourself to the scrutiny of the people of this state. Donald doesn't agree with that. Donald likes to parachute in like Mick Jagger and speak at a football stadium and then fly off. And I don't think we're electing a reality star. I don't think we're interested in the Kim Kardashian president. There are serious problems facing this country. My number one priority as president is jobs and economic growth, bringing jobs back to America, bringing manufacturing jobs back to Indiana, raising wages for working men and women. And one of the big differences between Donald and me is that I have a real concrete economic plan to do so. Donald has no idea how to do so. So I encourage you, come out, ask me questions, and I would love to earn your support.
I want to make sure I've heard this right. I want to make sure everyone hears it right. Does the Cruz campaign continue regardless of the outcome in Indiana?
We are continuing as long as we have a path to victory, and I believe we are going to earn a majority of the delegates at the convention. Nobody is getting to 1237. Donald wants everyone to think this is over, and the mainstream media wants everyone to think this is over. By the way, the reason the media wants it is because the network executives are all Democrats, and they want Hillary to win. They know Donald is the only candidate on earth Hillary can beat. As long as we have a path to victory, I am in this race to win it, and if Republicans continue uniting behind this campaign, the Hoosier State has the ability to step in and make a choice using common sense Midwestern values of who we want to lead us, who we are. And I believe we are a positive, optimistic, forward-looking, conservative nation with common sense conservative values.
Senator Ted Cruz, all the best today in Fort Wayne and the travels. We'll talk to you soon, sir.
Thank you, Tony. God bless.